Hi, hello, good morning, and welcome to this week's serving of Mickey Waffles, a Disney podcast where we cover everything from parks, movies, and merchandise. My name is Sinead.
My name's Kate. Hi guys, how's it going?
I'm good, Kate. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, thanks.
Kate, it's episode 50!
Oh yeah, I forgot. I remember we didn't talk about it on the podcast last week, but me and Sinead, funnily enough, we talk when things aren't being recorded. And
What?
we mentioned it, and I was like, oh yeah, and now I've just completely forgotten. But here we are, yes, 50. Wow.
Episode 50. Now, I feel like I have to put a little caveat because we do have more than 50 episodes available in the Mickey Waffles feed, but a lot of the other ones are the quote-unquote mini waffles, as we like to call them,
Which
where
are
we've just been
as
like,
long as regular episodes.
honestly, where we're just like, we just have too much to say on this one particular topic, so here's a real niche episode about it.
Yeah, those ones. So yeah, technically there are over 50, but of the official weekly standard release episodes, it's number 50.
Be proud of us.
Yeah, I am really proud of how consistent we've been, and actually not just turned away one day and been like, you know what, we can stop.
Exactly, and not even like work stuff or COVID-19 could keep us down. It kept us down for a few weeks, but not long.
Yeah, no, it was, we figured it out. It's fine.
We discovered Zoom, and all is right with the world.
We had that little weird period that all the shops had of being like, okay, we got it.
We found a way of doing it online, and now we're set.
Yeah, pretty much. And now you'll never get rid of us. Come higher, hell water.
Yeah, no, you're stuck with us now. So, Kate, you went back to work this week.
I did.
Here's
me 3 episodes ago being like, see you in August, and then here we are, went back to work. So yeah, I went back on Sunday before we opened to set up the shop, and then we opened on Monday, and really it was fine. I know that our friend Amy had a bit of a horror story from her first day opening. Mm-hmm. And I felt kind of bad that my first day wasn't anywhere near as bad as hers. Our only initial surge was because some people thought we opened at 9, but we opened at 10:30. So they'd been waiting outside since 9 o'clock. And then when we opened to 10:30, they were like, finally. And we were like, well, we actually don't open till 10:30. They're the new store. They're the new center hours. So they kind of got a little bit mad at us for that. But I'm like, well, no, because we actually did open on time. You just, for some reason, got here at 9. I think it's because Penny's opened at 8:30. And I think JD, and JD opened at 9, I think, because they have a big sale. So they opened earlier. But yeah, no, we opened at 10:30, and we have a store capacity of 37 people, and we never hit it for the entire day.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, it was grand, really. My legs were killing me. I had completely lost my retail feet, which is so annoying because I've been working in retail 7 years now, and I pride myself on being able to do an 8-hour shift and only be marginally tired afterwards. Yeah. But my God, I had a late lunch, so I did 5 hours and then came back, and then actually we did 2 hours because I got to come at 6. But after the 5 hours, I was like, oh Jesus Christ.
Honestly, it's such a thing.
My legs are gonna fall off.
That's why whenever we go to Disney, since I've stopped working in retail and we've been to Disney, that's why I'm always like, I can't walk, because I now don't have to stand all day. You really do lose your stamina for it big time.
Yeah, I remember when me and Ed went for our anniversary, he was like, do you not want to sit down? And I was like, no, I can keep going. I'm like, we can sit down if you want.
Carry on through.
I'm like, but no, I'm fine. And he's like, how? And I'm like, because I stand for 8 hours a day, every day, sometimes more, because I have to get places. And he's like, oh yeah, I suppose, yeah.
And he's just like, oh, sitting down sounds nice.
Yeah. Pretty much it. But yeah, it was really fine. So I was in Monday, and then I was off yesterday and today, and then I'm back tomorrow for a couple of days in a row. But yeah, I think we're fine. No one really shouted at us. one woman was like,
That's
no
good.
fitting rooms. And I was like, yeah, but you have 45 days to return things now. And she was like, oh, I suppose that's okay then. I was like, you suppose? I'm like, that's over a month and a half to return your leggings. A month and a half. Where are you going?
Honestly.
Where are you going to be? So, yeah, I think it should be fine. I'll get back into the swing of things. And it was nice to see other people. So, like, my co-workers, but then just, like, shoppers and customers and, like, just being around other people and that kind of stuff. That was nice too.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I was in town today because I had to go do some things, and there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. And there's a lot of people not adhering to social distancing, and it's not overly pleasant.
Yeah. There's a lot of people not wearing masks.
Yeah, I have to say, when we were in town, I was exchanging the watch that Ed got me for my birthday.
Oh yeah, little baby one.
Teeny tiny baby watch. Because while we were in town, he was like, here, we might as well just go in if there's no queue. And there was no queue, but I just had to wait at the door for a little minute. And if you've ever been into the entrance to Weir's, their entrance is like the curvature of, like, there's obviously all like the jewellery in the windows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were waiting at the front door, and this woman literally was shimmying up behind us to look at the rings in the window. And she had a mask on, but it was round her chin. Like, it wasn't on. And I'm like, do you really need to look at these rings right now? Could you not wait 2 minutes until I'm in the shop? And then you can... I was like, she might as well have been on my shoulder. I was like, they were like $8,000 rings. I was like, you're telling me right now that your big thing is buying an $8,000 ring, is it? I was
honestly,
like, what is wrong with you? I was like, you clearly understand that there's an issue because you have both rubber gloves and a face mask on. But one, the face mask isn't on. And two, you're literally sitting on my shoulder. Jesus Christ.
Now, when you say she's wearing rubber gloves, I automatically picture like yellow marigolds. like Mrs. Doyle or something like that. Like, that's what's in my head when you say rubber gloves.
That would have been funnier, but no, I just mean like the regular like gloves that people have been wearing because of COVID. But okay. Yeah, I was like, hello. I was like, now she looked like she'd be someone who would snap at me and start screaming at me, so I didn't say anything. But I knew I'd be moving on pretty quickly. But if we were in a situation where I knew I wasn't going anywhere for a good 5 minutes, I think I might have said something to her. But she was so close to me. I was like, you do not need to be this close to me. Don't stand so close to me. Also, completely off topic, Dublin buses can only hold 17 people now. Did you know this?
I knew it was very few, but I didn't know the exact number.
No, yeah, so they have a sticker on the buses that say this bus now holds 17 passengers. 17! A bus usually holds like 65 to 70.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was driving... Where was I with Bref the other day? We were going to Nutgrove because he wanted to buy a wok.
Of course
This is the exciting life that we lead. So we went to Homebase to see if he could acquire a wok because nobody else seems to have a wok. And the queue was massive, so we decided against it because he didn't need a wok that desperately.
That's fair.
But we, for some reason, went around by Dundrum because Bref goes a really weird way to get to Nutgrove, and we passed a 75, and it was like bus full, but it only had like obviously 17 people on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like full is probably the wrong turn of phrase. I feel like capacity is probably, because you know there's going to be some Karen that's like, that bus isn't full, I can see.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so weird. Like, I don't know, because when they fully open the country up again, so like people can start going places that aren't necessarily essential kind of thing, like I don't know how anyone's going to get anywhere, because for the past 3 to 4 years the government's just been building up public transport and being like, leave your cars at home, get on public transport. Like, people have picked their homes because of where public transport is, people have rented their apartments because they're near the Lewis. And now all of a sudden the government's like, don't go on public transport. So I don't know how people are going to go places.
Yeah, because like at any given time of day, the Lewis out of town is rammed. Like any time of day. It can be literally first thing in the morning, last thing at night, any time in between. The Lewis is busy coming out of town without fail. So I'm quite glad that Bref drives.
Yeah, to be fair.
And that I can avoid public transport for the quite near future.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know where I would be going in that much of a hurry that I would need to be getting on Lewis. Mercifully, I can still work from home. But yeah, I don't envy it. Because like, how do you factor in the length of time it takes you to get to work if, I don't know, I feel like we're going down a rabbit hole, but you know what I mean.
No, but it's like, even if you give yourself an extra half hour to get to work, but you can't get on any bus because it's full.
Yeah.
And full being there's 17 people on it.
Hmm.
And the Lewis as well, they have customer assistance, and they're on the platform and they get on the Lewis when it's at the stop, and they ask anyone who isn't in a social distancing position to get off. So like, if you are sat in a seat that says please do not sit here, or if you're stood less than 2 meters away from someone else, they ask you to get off and wait for the next Lewis.
Yeah, that'll be fun when everybody goes back to full capacity. That'll be a nightmare.
But anywho, back to Disney. So yeah, our only news is opening dates. So Hong Kong Disneyland has announced that they are going to open on June the 18th, which is tomorrow.
Oh
or
my yesterday.
God. Or yesterday for you guys. And then Disneyland Resort in California, they have a couple of dates. So Downtown Disney is going to be open on July 9th. Then their parks are going to be open from July 17th. And then 2 of the hotels that aren't the Disneyland Hotel, Paradise Pier and Grand Californian. Yeah.
Grand Californian Hotel and Spa. I don't know when the Disneyland Hotel's reopening.
Yeah, either, don't know. But those 2 hotels
refurb on it.
Are opening on July 23rd. Yeah, who knows? Disney's who knows? Maybe they just don't want to. Like, I'm a strong believer of the whole Disney doesn't actually want anyone coming this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, don't open it.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's a little bit different for the Disneyland Resort. I saw some people online giving out about why aren't the hotels opening at the same time as the parks. But at the end of the day, like, Disneyland is a locals park. So even if they never reopened the hotels, that's not going to impact their kind of numbers. Like, they will still have tons of AP holders there. I do not doubt for a second that what are they called? Best Life and Beyond guys. I don't doubt for a second that they're going to be trying to get in there day one, because I feel like they're just like pining for Disneyland. Yeah,
like Disneyland Resort definitely runs off a different basis than Walt Disney World does. And they've put those opening dates in for a reason, because they know that they're 2 different parks. Like, it's not a secret. Yeah. Like, everyone's aware of how differently people treat them. So it makes perfect sense, to be honest.
Yeah, and it makes sense that they're giving themselves a couple days-ish as a buffer. So Magic Kingdom opens on the 11th of July. So they're giving themselves just under a week to kind of learn from what works there, because obviously with Walt Disney World, yes, they have a volume of annual pass holders that are local, but for the most part, they're catering for people that are coming out of town, that are traveling to Disney World. So they can kind of, I suppose, manage that from the number of reservations and the number of tickets available and whatnot. Whereas Disneyland could end up, now I'm assuming, I haven't seen specifics online, but I'm assuming they're going to be running a similar reservation situation type thing that Walt Disney World is doing. So I imagine you're going to have to book your slot as well, but obviously there'll be a higher volume for that compared to Disney World. So it'll be all fun and games.
Oh, I'm so excited for when Disney reopen, because we've seen, I don't know, like, if any of you guys watch Tim Tracker, he's gone to SeaWorld, he's gone to Busch Gardens, he's been to a good few places now to see how they do their social distancing and how lax some people are and how a bit more strict others are. And I'm so excited to see how strictly Disney take it. Like, I know we've seen what they're doing in Disney Springs, but when it comes down to it, Disney Springs is still just an open air mall. Like, that's all it is. Yeah. And although you still do get like the Disney magic in Disney Springs, it's nowhere near the same as it is in the parks. No. It's chalk and cheese kind of thing. So I'm very excited to see how they deal with it in the parks, where everything is that bit more Disney.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see kind of what wait times and stuff are like, how many people they're actually letting into the parks at a time, because they haven't given us any specific numbers or anything. So there's going to be a lot of intrigue when Disney finally do reopen.
And we'll finally have more real things to talk about.
Woohoo! Although before we move on from talking about the parks, we have, and we totally forgot to talk about it on last week, we've seen some visuals about the Hong Kong Disneyland castle refurb.
Oh,
And
yeah.
holy Jesus, it's beautiful.
It does not look anything like it used to look like. When you shared that picture, I forgot that it was never looked like that.
Honestly.
In my head, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And then I looked back at original pictures and I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's what it used to look like.
Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know, the Hong Kong Disneyland castle was basically a carbon copy of the Disneyland Resorts castle. So it was a itty bitty little castle. And they've now kind of taken that, they've looked at DLP and they're like, oh, you still want to be Queen Bee? Hold my purse. And it's insane. Like, it's massive, it's beautiful, the colors are amazing, it's stunning.
Yeah, it's very, very pretty. I'm very excited to see what it looks like when it's done.
Me too. There's also, I think I saw during the week, there's been a couple of photos leaked, like aerial photos of Cinderella Castle, so she's getting a refurb at the minute as well, and that also looks very, very nice.
When you said aerial photos, I thought you meant Ariel the mermaid.
Under the sea. Nah.
I was like, what? What do you mean aerial photos? But no,
No, from a plane or a helicopter. But it looks super, super bright. So it seems to be a like thing that they're going for with the castles, as and when they're refurbing them, that they're just making them super bright, super poppy. And I'm here for it. Just do DLP, will you, lads, please?
Please, it's just, I won't get into it. I won't get into how strongly I feel about the whole DLP castle situation.
But anyways, moving on to other sad things. So Artemis Fowl got released onto Disney Plus on Friday, and it has bombed catastrophically. It is currently sitting at 9% on Rotten Tomatoes and 4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, like I knew it wasn't going to be a great movie, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Yeah. The main kind of critique that I've seen online is that Disney just completely changed the story. Now, as I said, I'm fairly sure I read the first Artemis Fowl book when I was a kid. And the whole premise is that Artemis Fowl is supposed to be a bad guy. He's meant to be a villain, even though he's a child. And Disney were like, a child villain? Oh no, we can't do that. Even though aren't descendants, well, I suppose they're not villains, they're just children of villains. I suppose that's kind of different. But they just decided, oh no, we're not going to have a kid be a villain. No, we're just going to change the whole story. Why?
Yeah, I don't think it's gone down very well. I even think, even if you take that part out of it, no one seems very happy with the movie. None of it makes sense. Nothing's explained. Stuff happens in the first half of the movie that's never revisited in the second half of the movie. I don't think it's a very good movie itself, regardless of the fact that Disney took the book and fucked it up.
Yeah. The only positive thing I saw online was somebody saying, delighted that Colin Bleeding Farrell gets to be Colin Bleeding Farrell. They just have to put on an accent. That's the only positive thing I've seen online. He just gets to be a right L dub, bless him.
So yeah, I'll definitely try and watch it. I was meant to watch it this week, but I actually kind of forgot that it was released. But I'll definitely try and get to it before we record the next episode, and I'll have my own take on it for you guys.
Yeah, I'll try watch it. I'm not gonna make staunch commitments, but I'll try watch it.
It's definitely the kind of thing that I'd happily just sit and watch in the evening and be able to pause and go make multiple cups of tea for. I'm always one for watching like shite movies. Sure, I watched live action Lion King, and y'all remember how that went down. That was such a bad movie. Look, let's see. Okay, here's the bar, right? I have to decide if it is better or worse than live action Lion King.
Okay.
And that's
yeah,
how I'll
I've still not watched live action Lion
is.
King, so
you don't need to. It's crap.
Yeah, I don't.
You literally don't even waste your time. Don't even bother. You'll never get those. You'll never get those hours back.
Yeah, I just me and the live action remakes, with the exception of Lady and the Tramp, because I actually really, really did enjoy Lady and the Tramp. It was real cute.
Yeah, it was really cute.
Me and the live actions just don't see eye to eye, and it's for a very similar reason to why everybody seems to be hating on Artemis Fowl, because they just water down all the villains, and the villains are always my favorite characters. Mm-hmm. So not fun. Can I just make reference to the fact that we are both dressed extremely on brand. So I'm currently wearing all black with a Beetlejuice t-shirt, and Kate is wearing a Christmas spirit jersey.
Oh, here, I'll show you my pajama bottoms. I got them from Penny's.
We're so on brand.
When I went into Penny's because there was no queue, I needed more. You know what? I needed the stupid things that you get from Penny's that if you were to buy them from anywhere else would be like €15. When you go to Penny's, they're only £3. Okay. So I needed a couple of hairbands, and me and Ellen needed new ring holders for our phones, like stupid things like that.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I was like, well, obviously I need to get a new pair of pajamas. When was the last time I bought a new pair of pajamas?
See, I would like to go over to Penny's because none of my clothes fit me, and I've literally just been living in leggings and giant spirit jerseys, but Ireland has been unseasonably warm in the past few weeks, and I'm just like, it's getting too warm for spirit jerseys at times.
Yeah, it's very warm. I have to say, like, the only reason I went into Penny's is because I was in the centre in work and I was waiting for my dad to come over. I didn't make a specific trip out. But, like, yeah. I feel like it's pretty fine. Like, there's no queues anymore. Like, everyone's kind of over it. The only thing I would say is that it's all the same stuff that they closed with before COVID. So, like, there's nothing particularly new. But there are, like, summer dresses and lighter tops and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like dresses is what I need. I might see if I can coerce Bretty. I'll get paid on Monday.
But also the problem with that is they're like the Penny's up and coming catwalk dresses, so they're all like these A-line askew angles.
With no sleeves and one arse cheek hanging out and
I'm like, who's wearing this potato sack that you've dyed blue?
Someone, do you know what? Someone will pull it off, and they'll pull it off better than we could ever. And we're just like, yeah, live your best life.
Yeah, whatever, that's fine. Do whatever.
So, should we get on to the main bit of the episode?
Yes, guys, we're nearly there. We're about to actually finish the series. Who'd have thunk it?
Well, we're about to finish the first part of a series.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's still an achievement, Sinead.
So we've done Main Street, we've done our dream Fantasyland, Adventureland. Last week we did Frontierland, and this week is Tomorrowland.
Da-da-da.
Sorry, there's like somebody driving around like a lunatic on a motorbike. There's an awful lot of noises this week.
A lot of rums.
Honestly, between that and then a crow.
I'm genuinely surprised in no previous recordings we've been able to hear the children that live next door to me, because they scream consistently as if their house is being burnt down. And because my window's on the ground floor, I can hear everything from either their house or their garden. And sometimes it sounds like they're being murdered. Like, they're obviously not, they're just kids. But I am always so impressed that it does not come through on the mic.
Excellent.
Just want to put that out there.
That top quality equipment, eh?
Oh, yeah. These headphones that came free with my phone.
I mean, don't knock them. No, that's what I use for work stuff.
They're getting the job done.
Exactly. So, this week I didn't have to kind of make stuff up or leave any parks out or anything like that. All parks have a relatively even-ish number of rides. And actually, I have a pretty even distribution of what I've chosen from all of the parks, which I'm very proud of.
Oh, well done, Sinead.
I know.
It's not like you. How many rides do you have?
12.
Oh, I have 11. Oh, no, I do have 12.
Ah.
4, 6.
I'm feeling there's going to be a lot of
10,
overlap.
12. Oh, I do have 12. I missed my last one. Yeah.
Fab. So, what was your kind of take or steer on what are the essential Tomorrowland, Discoveryland components?
Okay, so let's start with the big one. And I've gone for Hyperspace Mountain from DLP.
Same. Because
I think we need a mountain, but we don't want normal Space Mountain because it's shite. So that's why I've gone for Hyperspace Mountain, because I know how good of a roller coaster it is because I've been on it, but also I've watched many a ride through of the other Space Mountains in Disneyland and Disney World, and I'm like, they're blah. So I know for a fact that if we're having a mountain, it's Hyperspace Mountain from DLP. And I know you've not been on it before. It was Hyperspace Mountain when it was just Space Mountain Mission 2. But I much prefer Hyperspace Mountain to Space Mountain Mission 2. So that's my go-to.
I also went for Hyperspace Mountain from DLP. Interestingly, on Wikipedia, even though Disneyland Resorts Space Mountain often flits between Space Mountain and Hyperspace Mountain, they specifically have it as Space Mountain, whereas DLP is specifically Hyperspace Mountain.
Wow,
So I thought that was
interesting.
interesting. But I've also gone for DLP Space Mountain. I haven't been on the one in the Disneyland Resort, but I have been on the one in Magic Kingdom. And for my money, the one in Magic Kingdom is shite. Doesn't have any loops. You have to like, it's so difficult to get into. The seats are really uncomfortable. And I'm just not a fan. The DLP one, I think it's so much fun. The first time you go in it is an absolute shock to the system. But if you go in it a second time, you'll be like, okay, cool. I know what to expect. This is fun. I like the restraints. I like the overall aesthetic of the DLP. Like DLP has the most beautiful Space Mountain. I feel like DLP has the most beautiful most things.
From the outside, not from
but
the
even I think the actual building itself is pretty damn pretty.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
No. And I'm not necessarily specifically married to the Hyperspace Mountain thing, although I do enjoy it as a Star Wars fan. However, I would at some stage like the opportunity to experience Mission Space. I know you hate the second one, but I wouldn't mind trying it out as well. Either way, the track would still be the same, and the track I really, really enjoy. It's a launch coaster. It has a loop. What more could you want?
Boom.
Boom,
Come
boom,
fresh.
boom.
The next one I have is Autopia, and
Okay.
I've chosen it from Disneyland Resorts.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's something that should probably be in a Tomorrowland, because it is kind of futuristic as of when it happened kind of thing. I know cars aren't very futuristic now, obviously, but the idea of having that like Autopia kind of car ride for kids it very much appeals to me, and it fits in the Tomorrowland vibe.
I agree. I picked the one from DLP purely because I know it's just had a refurb. I've not been on Autopia in any of the parks, so I can't necessarily comment on it. It's not a ride that overly kind of draws me in. But again, much like you've said, I think it's a valid one to have. However, I would swap the cars out and have them be electric.
Oh, agreed.
Or solar powered, or something that doesn't just mean that they're just guzzling gas.
And it just smells so bad.
Yeah. So, an economical. I feel like
I think if they became solar powered, that would be even better, because then it would be more futuristic again. We'd turn the whole futuristic thing around.
Yeah.
Happy
or
days.
even like one of those like self-charging hybrids that they're always shouting on about on the TV. They should have just got Tesla to like build cute little like electric mini Teslas to go around. That's what I want. But either way, I want them more eco-friendly, please and thank you, so they're not killing the earth. But anyways, right. The next one I've gone for is, I think, a Tomorrowland staple, and Disney World can get in the bin about not having this in their Tomorrowland, is Star Tours.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I didn't realize it didn't come across in my head that it wasn't there in Disney World.
Yeah, just like, lads, what are you on about? So absolutely think that Star Tours, especially because Star Tours is so detached from the other Star Wars offerings in the likes of Hollywood Studio and Disneyland and stuff like that, I think it's fine to have that in Tomorrowland.
Yeah,
I've picked the one from the Disneyland Resort purely because I want it in English.
So did I.
Now, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy sassy French C-3PO.
But I just don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like,
plus, if we had the one from the Disneyland Resort, we could get a I was the Rebel Spy pin.
That's all I want.
But I won't lie, I still would rather having a Je suis le Rebel Spy pin. I would kind of prefer it in French.
DLP are really missing out on that one. Why they don't have it, I don't know. Like, it would work so well. But yeah, I also chose the one from Disneyland Resort, and definitely because I want to be guaranteed that it's always going to be in English, because experiencing it in French for 50,000 times and then eventually getting to experience it in English, I was like, wow, this is so much better when you know what's going on.
Oh, do you remember that? Do you remember that time that we got it in English for the first time? And we had Leia, and I think we ended up in Batu, and it was in English, and I was the Rebel Spy, and it was so perfect.
Yeah, I was very happy that was that cast member. That cast member was a great cast member. And then to pair with that, I've chosen Jedi Training. And and I didn't realize, is Hong Kong the only one that still does this?
I think they still do it in Hollywood studios, but they definitely don't do it in DLP anymore. And I wish they would in Cafe Hyperion. That's what it's called, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wish they still did it in there because they have that big, massive stage, and all they seem to have is feckin' Irish schools singing and dancing in it.
Yeah. So yeah, I've chosen the the Jedi Training Academy from Hong Kong, and I chose because Hong Kong was kind of the only one on the list. But I also was just like, yeah, Hong Kong, get in there.
Yeah. I just, every time you see videos of it, it's just always really funny because there's always that absolutely tiny little kid that's like, Darth Maul, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and just go for it, and it's the best thing ever.
And kids just love it so much, and I think it's just such a good idea. And like the age limit is 12, so it's just perfect, and every kid there knows what they're at, and they're like, yeah, I'm a Jedi. So yeah, I need that.
Totally agree. I'm gonna go with a weird one next.
Okay.
So I went for the Finding Nemo submarine voyage from the Disneyland Resort because I bloody love this. It's so much fun.
I also have it, yeah.
So when I went to Disneyland, I went with one of my best friends, Mel, and I entirely forgot that not only is she claustrophobic, she's also afraid of water and fish. So naturally, I dragged her on this. And you go downstairs into the little submarine and you have like the most tiniest little space to sit, and your knees are up against the thing. Like, you would not want to be a particularly large person going on this attraction because you just wouldn't get down into your little seat. And you sit there and you go around the little pond and you see the story. It's great. I love this ride. It's so much fun.
How was she? Did she freak out?
Oh, she hated the whole time. She basically kind of sat like with her hand. I'm mimicking it to Kate, but not a visual medium. She just like sat with her hands over her eyes and was just like, Sinead, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to kill you. So.
Oh dear.
Yeah. It's okay though, because then she abandoned me and went on Tower of Terror like 15 times, so that was fine.
Oh, well then.
Got her own back.
Then, in keeping with the Pixar, I've also chosen Monsters Inc. Ride and Go Seek from Tokyo.
Okay, our parks are so similar.
I think we just both know exactly what Tomorrowland needs.
We know the good stuff.
Yeah, so I've chosen Monsters Inc. Ride and Go Seek from Tokyo because it's great. It's just a fantastic ride, and it's one of the rides that I've watched a ride through of many a time that hasn't been a ride in an American park, and everything about it, I'm like, I might as well be in Monsters Inc.
It looks so fun because I was kind of like, I have the option between picking Ride and Go Seek or Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor because I wasn't going to pick both, and I'm just like, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, I don't need that, I'm fine without that. But it's so cute, and it takes all the kind of good elements of the Monsters Inc. ride from from Disney's California Adventure, but just like puts it on crack and you get a flashlight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Well, in coming off that, Sinead, I'll let you pick the next one, but just want to say I've also chosen Laugh Floor from Walt Disney World.
Oh, very good. How can we pick Laugh Floor? Go on.
Because I feel like that's kind of my vibe. It's the kind of thing where people just like, it's the kind of ride that I think I'd be very good to work on as the monsters, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I agree.
I feel like it's the kind of ride that if it had a low weight and I just wanted to Americon, I'd be dragging Ed in and I'd be like, yeah, we're going to go into this again.
That's fair. I've done it once and I think that's all I need to do it.
That's fair.
So, my next one, however, is the People Mover from Magic Kingdom, because the People Mover is everything. And I wish every land had something like this.
Yeah.
Like, obviously themed to each individual land, but it's so cool. You get to like go into the different attractions and like have a look into like different shops and like have a look at people and all this like fun stuff. Get a great view at Castle. You just get to sit down for a little while. Just everything about the People Mover. Absolutely excellent. Love it.
I have nothing to add, but I also chose the People Mover because it just looks, you're right, it's just, there's nothing bad to be said about the People Mover. No. Except for that, like, it's a good ride to have there. It takes a lot of people. It never usually has an extortionate wait, and it's very interesting. And if it's your first time to the park, it's a really nice way to get your kind of bearings of stuff, and it's a nice way to be introduced to a couple of things.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go next with my Buzz Lightyear ride, because I feel like every park
Oh
has
my
one
god,
of
I
these.
never wrote down a Buzz Lightyear ride.
Kate.
Why did I not do that? And I
What
know
is
which one
wrong?
I want.
I went with Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin from Magic Kingdom. They're pretty much all the same. They all break down, which means you can get extra points. But I just feel like the Disneyland Paris one is absolutely impossible, and no one ever gets Galactic Hero. So, and everyone seems to get it in Magic Kingdom, so I'm going with Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, see, I have a bit of a bone to pick with this Zelda one. So
Ooh.
I wanted to choose the DLP one because you're able to take the guns out of the holders. And so you can move them around more. And I feel like that's a bit of a more fun experience than having the guns planted to the thing. But then I was also like, exactly what you just said, it is physically impossible to max out on the one on DLP. And I don't think anyone has ever done it because it doesn't work the same way.
If you are listening and you have maxed out the DLP one, please tell us about it.
Come on the show.
Honestly,
come on the show
and do and tell us about it.
An entire show just to how you maxed out on that ride, because I don't know how to do it and I just want to so bad. And I just don't know how you do it on DLPs because I've tried and I know the tricks. I know the purple triangle, the purple diamonds. I know how it works and I can't do it. So for that main reason, I have also chosen the one in Walt Disney World because I feel like more people should be able to experience the galactic heroism.
I agree. The only thing I will say is I always beat Bref in it, so that makes me happy.
Hey.
The DLP one. He's always like, I'm gonna win, and not like normally anything to do with that kind of thing, Breffney will always win, always. But I have it down that I can always beat him by a couple thousand. So long as that trend stays on, I'm good. Me and the DLP one won't totally come to arms, shall we say?
Well, I do still really like the DLP one. It just annoys me that it's so difficult to get high points.
Yeah.
Anywho, we'll live and let die.
So the next one I've gone for, which I know Kate most likely will not have gone for, is Orbitron from DLP.
Not on my list at all. I don't have any spinny ride.
My reason for it is that most of the other ones have a little like space bucket type spinny ride, and out of all of them, the DLP one's the prettiest. It's a spinning bathtub. I never want to go on it, but it's pretty.
I'm happy to have the Orbitron, but not as a ride. I'm happy to have it as
just have the spinning balls.
Yeah, I'm happy to have it as like a centerpiece for my Tomorrowland, but it does not need to be a ride. I don't care for it. I have enough things in my park that children under 140 centimeters can do. Get to fuck with your Orbitron. Not in my park. I've given you enough other fun things to do where you don't need a height requirement.
I feel you.
But I respect your decision to have one. So I only have 2 left.
Okay, 3 left.
My first one is a Carousel of Progress.
Okay.
Because There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow is ingrained in me as a cast member, and the fact that like this is kind of where it came from and all that sort of stuff. And I do like the Carousel of Progress. Like, I do like the idea of it, and I'd be happy for it to be like renovated with the times as well. I wouldn't be against that. Obviously, not losing the olden times that were there, but I think it just comes to when you've got all this futuristic stuff as Tomorrowland's supposed to be, like just updating like the end scene to more of a future, but like maybe change the end scene from what people thought the future was going to be like 20 years ago to what people think the future is going to be like in 20 years time. Yeah. But yeah, so I've kept the Carousel of Progress from Walt Disney World.
I have not gone for the Carousel of Progress. I didn't do it when I was there, although Wendy did tell us a rather delightful story the other day about a cast member dying in the Carousel of Progress, which was a bit grim.
Cool.
Yeah. I've kind of gone for a slight duplication, but I'm sticking with it and I don't care. So I've also picked, as well as Buzz Lightyear, I've picked Ant-Man and the Wasp Nano Battle from Hong Kong Disneyland.
Oh, I thought about that, but then I just didn't.
I think it'd be fun. Those kind of rides are always popular, so I'm kind of like, I can build whatever I want. We can have both. Why not? Go for it.
That's fair. Yep, I agree.
So that's kind of more like a throwaway mention.
I'm not against it at all.
And I'll get my kind of other one out of the way because I have a feeling the last ride both have the same thing. So I'll get my other one out of the way. So from Shanghai Disneyland, I've gone with the jetpacks.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
another sit and spinny ride. It looks like the stereotypical one that I feel like you'd find down Bray Seafront during Paddy's weekend or something. Like you just you sit beside someone, you get strapped in, and then you spin around and it goes up and down. But it kind of looks like fun.
It's nothing overly different, but it does give a very futuristic element.
Yeah, and it also looks like it would be incredibly more comfortable than Orbitron. Because again, Orbitron is just a bathtub.
Yes, and it also looks really cool at night.
Yeah, so went for a spinny ride. So the final ride that we undoubtedly have both picked. You want to tell the ladies and gentlemen, Kate?
I've picked Tron Light Cycle Power Run from Shanghai Disneyland.
Big same.
Because why would you not?
Honestly.
If someone told me I could go to a Disney park tomorrow for free, but I only got to ride Tron and then I had to come straight back home, yes.
That's an awful long way to go to China, Kate.
I'd still do it.
If Magic Kingdom was open, I'd be like, yeah, grand. But it's much further to go to Shanghai.
No, I think how much fun. I'd totally do it.
Yeah, it looks incredible. Everyone, any vloggers or bloggers or Instagrammers or whoever that I've ever seen talk about it have all said that it is absolutely phenomenal. And it's so unlike a lot of the rides that Disney are building at the minute, because a lot of the rides that they're doing at the minute are very screen based. Like when you think about the 4 big attractions that they've released in the past recent years, Flight of Passage, screen based. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, screen based for the most part. Rise the Resistance, yes, a bit of actual stuff, bit animatronics, but still also quite heavily screen based. And then the same for Smuggler's Run. So it's one that isn't really screen based. It's just a good old fashioned roller coaster, but you're just sitting in a different way, so it's more thrilling.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's just I'm buzzing to go on it at one point in my life.
It's the main thing that's kind of making me keep holding out on going to Walt Disney World, because I'm kind of like, I don't know when in my life I will ever get over to Shanghai Disneyland, but I'm more likely to get to Walt Disney World. So I'm kind of like, maybe I'll just hold out until it opens.
Yeah, and give it a bit of time to die down.
Oh, can you imagine me trying to get Breffney on Tron?
No, I can't. That's a no-go.
The only thing is, he does. No, I don't know if he necessarily has strong feelings towards the older movie, but I know he definitely likes. Is it Tron Legacy?
Newer one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, he had the CD in his car for probably about the first 2.5 years of us dating.
Wow.
So I know he's a big fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like, I could try convince you to get on it, right? Maybe, kind of.
I mean, yeah. Also, it's like riding a motorbike. It's not like being in a roller coaster.
Yeah, exactly.
And the majority of it's outside.
I don't know if that will help.
No.
But there's no rock face. That's the main thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Too right.
So yeah, there are Tomorrowlands. Very similar, but I had kind of anticipated that out of any of them, Tomorrowland would be the one that we would have a lot of similarities.
Yeah, it's because it's both a lot of Tomorrowland's just a lot of fun, I think, because you're not looking for like immersion when you go to Tomorrowland, because it's not it's not as heavily themed as like Frontierland or Adventureland or even Fantasyland. It doesn't have that same kind of vibe. I think when you go to Tomorrowland, you're looking to have fun and do like those kind of rides, like the Ant-Man one and Buzz Lightyear and Ride and Go Seek and those kind of rides.
I agree. Vaguely spacey / weird.
Exactly.
I don't know if that was the best way of explaining it. Oh God, now that guards are here, for feck's sake.
Oh Jesus, they're getting that motorbike guy.
Honestly, the noises in this episode, I do apologise, lads. There's literally nothing I could be doing about it.
And none of them have been put in by Sinead.
No, sadly not. So that's our like castle park done. What are we thinking what do we want to do next?
I guess we do a second gate.
Okay.
Because I think there is a lot of main rides from other parks, and there's a couple of lands in other Disney parks that have cool things in them that we'd probably want to incorporate.
Okay.
But I'm happy to have one whopper conglomeration second gate and just be done with it.
So just do it in one big wham bam thank you ma'am episode. Yeah,
but I wonder, do we put a limit on how many things we can have?
Well, maybe we do. We can have maybe we do it that we can have a max of 5 areas.
Okay. Yeah.
So then it'll mirror, because in this one we had Main Street, Fantasyland, Adventureland, Tomorrowland, and Frontierland.
Mm-hmm.
Because my initial take on a second park would be that there would be a Star Wars area.
Mm-hmm.
There would be a Toy Story area.
Yeah.
And then 3 other things.
Cool,
I haven't quite decided yet.
But I think that's a good basis to start. I think we need to just kind of plan it out before we start going for it. Otherwise, we'll just get very confused and it won't make any sense.
Yeah. So maybe we do 5 lands with a max of how many things per land, per area?
6.
Cool.
Obviously, some will be less, but with a max of 6, I think we're G.
I agree. Oh my God, though, we've totally forgotten. We didn't discuss characters. We didn't discuss shows. We didn't discuss dining. What's wrong with us?
Oh, yeah. I was just so ready to go. I was like, yeah, cool. So I guess a good place for me to start is with my Monsters Inc. Ride and Go Seek on my last floor. I'm obviously going to have a fully meet and greet area with Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Actual Mike, not the statue that's in DLP. But I would quite like an area that they have in DLP where you scream into the thingamajiggers and it rates your screen. Yeah, so I'd quite like one of those. And then I also just mentioned that I'd like one of the Tomorrowland arches. One of those new arches for Tomorrowland. Oh, yeah. I want one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of the only extra things I wrote down.
Okay. I'm down for kind of moving that DLP meet and greet area, just getting rid of Mike, leaving Boo's door, because I think everyone, even if Sully's not there, everybody has a picture in front of Boo's door. Yeah, because it's still just a cute photography area. Big fan. Mm-hmm. I would like a Buzz Lightyear meet and greet area near Space Ranger Spin, because I just think it kind of makes sense. I like the idea of having Star Wars characters as meet and greet characters in that area, kind of similar to the whole launch bay thing that they have in the Disneyland Resorts, where you can meet Darth Vader, you can meet Chewbacca, and then they have little Jawas and stuff just kind of mooching around. So yeah. I'd be quite happy to keep that Star Warsy area as kind of classic Star Wars characters. So maybe you could throw in a Boba Fett or something like that. But then keeping the Star Wars area in my second gate as current Star Wars characters. So Kylo Ren, Rey, the new Stormtroopers, Phasma, that thingamajiggy. Keep them separate so people know the different white bad guys. Especially for you, Sam. And as for other meet and greet characters, I don't know if I have any other meet and greet characters.
Yeah, again, I don't know, what have we got? Buzz Lightyear doesn't really fit there. Autopia, not an IP. Nemo, can't do. Mover, really... Mountain. The only other IP you have in there is Tron, and you're not going to have a meet and greet for Tron. So
nah, it's not necessary. So yeah, I mean, I'd probably just be overanalyzing and coming up with really stupid ideas if I was to try and dig any further into it. So we'll leave that as is.
Again, I don't think Tomorrowland is that kind of park.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a go and meet characters. I think there's plenty of other places in Disney parks to go do that. I just don't think Tomorrowland your bag for that one.
I agree. Dining.
Cafe Hyperion.
Yeah, I do. A lot of people have issues with Cafe Hyperion, and I get it. Believe me, as a vegetarian, I goddamn well get it.
As someone who just burgers, also, I get it. They used to be rank.
Yeah, they have. I agree. They have definitely stepped up their game in the past few years. I would be beheft to not mention the pumpkin dessert from Halloween season, because it's the best thing Cafe Hyperion has ever done, ever. Because it's fucking
delicious. So
So good.
delicious.
And so cute and gluten-free. So I like the idea of having a Cafe Hyperion type restaurant that's just absolutely bloody massive. It has the shorts playing. It seems to always have Irish skills there. Like, I cannot tell you the amount of times where I'll just be like, oh, I miss Disney. I'm gonna look at our Insta stories, and I'll watch our Insta stories from our Halloween trip. And there's that like Irish dance troupe that are dancing to that song that's like, when you're Irish.
Oh
And
God,
we're just like,
what a
what is
time.
happening?
I don't understand how every time we go there, it's always like they do loads of stuff on that stage, but every time we go, it is always an Irish school from the fucking backyards of nowhere doing Irish dancing.
Or singing. There was that primary school that one time.
Oh yeah, there was that choir.
In Kildare? Is it Kildare?
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
But yeah, I definitely feel like there is a place for just a big, ginormous,
Stage.
not necessarily stage, but just a big, ginormous quick service. However,
Oh, sorry.
you just need to revamp the entire way they run that restaurant. That's the biggest issue.
It's very bad. They take your order and then they just shout the order at the kitchen staff, and then
Like,
everyone's
there's-
waiting for the same thing. And so people who've been waiting a second get orders from people who've been waiting for 3 minutes because they're just taking them as they come. And it's just like McDonald's do it every single day, and it's not that hard.
Genuinely.
Like,
Genuinely.
not to give a shout out to McDonald's or anything, but like seriously, it's not that hard to run fast food, because McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, so many people do it all the time, and it's not that hard, and there's a reason it's called fast food.
Disney World and Disneyland seem to manage it perfectly. Disneyland Paris's food and beverage is just so goddamn inefficient. It's fucking ridiculous. So down for that. I would like mobile ordering to be a thing just across my entire
It's just a park-wide thing.
Just putting that out there. Any other food preferences?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what are in the other Tomorrowlands.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'd like somewhere that did kind of like galaxy themed foods. So maybe like a cute like galaxy like donut or like a cupcake or something, and maybe like a cool galaxy like slushy that's like a bunch of different flavors all like mingled in together or something like that.
Ooh, no, never mind. Ooh.
Are you on board with this idea or no?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at I googled the Tomorrowland restaurants.
Oh, very good. I know there's the, what is it, Starlight Cafe with Sunny
There's
Eclipse.
Galactic Grill in Disneyland Resort.
Oh yeah, that's where they do all the Star Wars stuff.
Mm.
You can get the burger on the black bun. I'd like a Yoda
American.
burger that's just, I'd like a vegan Yoda burger that's just all green. I think that'd be really hilarious.
Yeah, I'd be up for that too. Yeah, I think we're pretty happy in saying that like Tomorrowland food is probably mostly fast food based. Like, you're probably not going to have a sit down restaurant in Tomorrowland.
Nah.
It's one of your grab and go kind of things. And I think we're pretty happy for them to have your general selection of pizzas and burgers and fries and nugs and vegetarian burgers and that kind of stuff.
Do I want a Pizza Planet in Tomorrowland, or do I want a Pizza Planet in my toy? I want a Pizza Planet in my Toy Story area. Never mind, I've answered my own question.
Yeah, I asked myself the same thing.
Do you remember when they used to have it in DLP?
Yeah, it was shite.
Never in my life did I ever go into it. I went into the one in Hollywood Studios, but never in my life did I ever get a chance to go into the DLP one.
It was, I think I might have seen it once when it was open, and that was it. And then every other time I've been, it was closed, and then it was obviously gone.
Yeah, R.I.P.
But yeah, didn't they open a new one in Disney World, and it's crap too?
Oh, they revamped the Pizza Planet and made it into Rizzo's. Is it Rizzo's? It's Muppets, anyways.
Is that one?
Yeah.
Where they do that, yeah, and it's crap.
Now, people say it's right, but I mean, even shit pizza is still pretty good. Like, I'd much quicker take a shit pizza over a shit burger, because a shit burger is shit. But crappy pizza is still pretty satisfying.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the pizza that I had in Pizza Planet in in Hollywood Studios was totally fine. It was a very saucy, cheesy pizza, and it was pretty tasty.
Oh, Pizza Planet is in Disneyland Resort. No?
Is it Pizza Port?
I remember seeing it somewhere. Where's this one? Alien Pizza Planet has officially reopened in Disneyland's Tomorrowland. It's in Disneyland, not Disney World.
Oh, my bad. Oh, and they do pesto and stuff. Oh, okay.
But it's called Aliens Pizza Planet. Yes, this is the one I'm thinking of. Because they serve the slices, they serve them just as slices in like the little thingies.
Yes.
And that's why I think that's why they're not meant to be that good. Because they're like pre-sliced and so they get all dry.
I feel you. They've lots of veggie options though. I'm down for that.
I don't understand why Disney have such a hard time with pizza.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like pizza's pizza. Pizza's easy.
Yeah, obviously not.
No, this is true.
But yeah, sorry, pizza plans for a different time anyway.
Absolutely.
I'm like pizza.
So the only other thing that I wanted to kind of throw out as a potential topic of discussion, and I haven't told Kay this, so she's kind of looking at me like I've 10 heads right now. So during the week online, there's been a lot of debate and rumors and all this kind of stuff going on that seemingly, now I haven't seen this petition, but seemingly there is a petition going on where people want Disney to change the theming of Splash Mountain to Princess and the Frog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
I mean,
do you want me to go first? Because I have literally just sprung this on you.
I do kind of know what I want to say, but yeah, you go first and maybe that'll help round my answer.
So, I'm kind of in two minds about it. One, I really enjoy Splash Mountain as is, and I think it is a really enjoyable ride. I've never seen Song of the South though, so I don't know what relation it has. Like, I don't know how closely related to the movie it is or anything like that, because I've never seen the movie, so I can't use that as a reference point. However, I am very much aware that Song of the South is a very racist movie that Disney like to lock away in the vault and never see the light of day again. And I completely understand that. However, I don't know, whilst I'm all for hells yeah, give it a revamp, give it a retheme, why the hell not? It's kind of the same debate that people had when they, instead of Red being sold in Pirates of the Caribbean, she's now a badass queen with a gun, and I'm totally here for it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Princess and the Frog is necessarily the best fit for it. I can totally see it. However, I'm going to stand firm with my suggestion from a good few episodes ago, and I'm going to be like, if you want to retheme it, go ahead. But go with Pocahontas, and when she's going over the thing, and it's just a great time.
Yeah, I do think Pocahontas would probably fit it better, to be honest.
I think it'd be real fun.
Yeah.
I know, I mean, that has its own, I suppose, kind of racially difficult tones to it.
So, my argument to that would be, so does Princess and the Frog. Like,
agreed. Princess
and the Frog also shows the historical racism within America. And I'm only saying America because that's where it's based. But, like, Princess and the Frog shows that historical, like, it also does. Like, literally, all you're missing is the fact that her dad's a cotton picker. Like, that's the kind of only thing you're missing from Princess and the Frog. They live in these tiny little shacks. They make gumbo for the entire place. Like, her best friend is a white, privileged girl who daddy buys everything for, but Tiana has to work 2 jobs just to basically stay alive. Like, it's not that it's bad that's in the movie, but Princess and the Frog is also full of what racism there used to be in older America. So I don't know why, I don't see how changing it to Princess and the Frog makes it any better. And look, I also know, my thing is, right, Song of the South was an inherently racist movie, but it was a racist movie at the time as well. It didn't go down well with the public when it was released either. It was released and they were like, yo, this is hella racist. We don't want to watch this movie. And I don't think that Splash Mountain has that much linkage to Song of the South, except for the fact that they use the song and some of the animal characters. I don't actually think it has that much correlation to the movie, and I feel like the way Splash Mountain goes, it doesn't really have that connection to Song of the South anymore, if you know what I mean. Like, I know it does, but I think over time it's just sort of lost its connection, and now it's just this song that is linked with these characters, that is linked with this water ride.
Yeah.
Not saying that Song of the South wasn't a racist movie. It completely 100% was. I just don't know if the way Splash Mountain works now, and let's say you never watched Song of the South, if you, or didn't even know it existed, and you went on Splash Mountain, you wouldn't come off of being like, man, that flume ride was really racist.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know if it's the right opinion or the wrong opinion, but that's kind of my thing. And like, again, I'm all for, if you want to refurb it, whatever. But I also personally don't think you need to, because I don't think it has the correlation to Song of the South that a lot of people know it does. And that really is I think that is the main thing, is that if people, like, I don't know, as long as it's not pointing people towards a racist film, then yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like, it doesn't actually reference Song of the South. Like, it's not that the actual name of the movie isn't referenced anywhere, which is entirely intentional by Disney, I would imagine. But yeah, I was curious to kind of see, and please let us know what your thoughts are on it. I know there's a lot of people kind of getting up in arms online about it, which, like, calm down. It's a bloody log ride in a theme park. Like, chill out.
Like, it's always been based on Song of the South, and Song of the South has always been a racist movie. Like, it's not swayed people one way or, like, people don't come off the ride and are immediately outraged at the world kind of thing.
No, and I get that, but I think it does kind of fall into that same scenario as to what kind of happened with Red. Like, that was always a horrific scene to have in Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's only as kind of time and opinions and feminism has progressed and all that kind of stuff that people were just like, I'm not a fan of that. So
yeah,
I get it. And at the end of the day, I suppose, to kind of quote that famous thing from Walt, like, the theme parks aren't supposed to be museums. They are supposed to be ever changing and ever evolving and whatnot. So I'm not necessarily kind of getting out my pitchfork either way. If they retheme it, they retheme it. Happy days. It'll get a nice fresh look to it. But either way, like, it won't change the actual flow of the ride, for lack of a better way of phrasing, because it's one ride. But either way, it'll still be a fun ride. But I was just, I'm curious to see what people's kind of takes are on it.
I think my only thing would be go on.
It's just, all I've really seen online are very angry American voices going either way. So I'm kind of curious to see kind of what people's thoughts are, kind of taking a step back from that.
I think my major point would be that the animatronics on that ride are just so old and so manky. I'm like, yeah, refurb it. Go for it. I hate old animatronics. I think they're weird, and I just, same way I don't like old animation. I just, it feels to me like, do you know when people put their nails on a chalkboard kind of thing? That's how I feel watching old animation, and I kind of get that feeling with, like, old animatronics as well. And I just, I don't like it.
It's so weird.
I know.
I
know. It's strange.
I'm a child. I don't like anything made before 1996.
Exactly. You got it in one.
So yeah, let us know what your thoughts are. Good, bad, and different. Send us a DM. I'm intrigued to see what people think.
But yeah. And
I think that's everything from this week.
Hope you enjoyed our 50th episode, guys. We did nothing different.
Woohoo!
That's what you can guarantee from us, guys. We'll never change.
Consistency.
Yeah, you know
the word you were looking for there, Kate.
Yeah, we'll never change. That's what they mean, the same thing.
I know.
I speak English.
Thanks very much for listening, guys. Please feel free to share the episode with your friend, your family, your dog. Especially share it with your dog. Please do.
Yeah.
Every time I see doggos again, it's making me happy. And like we always say, if you're listening on an iPhone, go over to Apple Podcast, give us a review. If you're not listening on an iPhone, find somebody that has one and leave us a review.
Hey. If you want to contact us as well, you can send us a DM on Instagram. It's at MakeYouWafflesPod, or send us a tweet. It's the same, just sans the S. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the After Dark Podcast Network.